Welcome back to the Titanium Hanger. This is Mike. I'm coming at you with the weekly news and review for July 24th, 2022. We have had SDCC just take over the entire week, and it's taken over Transformers for the most part. It overshadows pretty much everything going on this week, so we'll talk about this and talk about the cool stuff. We have some big news out of SDCC about Gijoe Classified. We've kind of expected this, but it's just kind of been, we expect it, and then it doesn't get announced, and expect it, and it doesn't get announced, but now it did. A lot of really cool stuff going on with NECA Turtles and all that kind of stuff. It's really exciting what's going on right there. Gonna touch on just the tip of the iceberg with it. And we got better pictures and a little bit more information, and maybe a lot more information, about what all's going on with Masters of the Universe from Mattel. And oddly enough, out of nowhere, a bunch of Star Wars news, a bunch of Star Wars reveals. Some are okay, some are just okay. But we'll talk about all this and more coming up. Starting out, as usual, what's new at Show Z? And what's new at Show Z right now, they actually have up for pre-order this is the Toys Easy YW2211 Hell Envoy Yamato battleship. And I understand there's going to be several battleships to combine. It's going to be a battleship combiner or something along those lines. Still pretty cool. They got it up for pre-order. No price yet. $1 down. It is going to be 10.35 inches tall, ABS PVC diecast. And the alternative mode, so the ship mode, is 18 inches long. Toys Easy's also got the YW2214 Gustav Railway gun up for pre-order too. So that's $1 down, and availability should be out sometime first quarter 2023. There's something new called the Kangdao CD07J Ninja Chow Chow. And the thing about this thing is that it is $2 down, $233 price point on this thing, and it's 10.63 inches tall. It comes with the main figure, 2 Fuma shurikens, a glider, 2 blades, 2 pair of interchangeable hands, 3 pairs of interchangeable hands, stand support for glider, the 4 kunyas, and 5 scrolls, number card, doll, and display stand. So this is really interesting, really cool. I don't think this transforms. I think it really is just an action figure and highly posable, kind of like 3-0 and those kinds of things. And the Vectron Lab speculation, well, Show Z has a whole tab for it and pre-orders for it. So the zero risk on your behalf is to put $1 down to pre-order this guy. And if they never make it, then you won't even lose your dollar. You get it back in credit. So it's a win-win for the customer. So I'm curious, though. People keep saying this thing's not going to get made, and there haven't been any new updates. So still curious. So there's not much Masterpiece news this week. There is this Flame Toys non-transforming the Nemesis Prime, and it does look pretty interesting. It's one of those things that they did kind of show off, and here is the actual figure itself, and it does look pretty good. Kind of, you know what you've got with the first one. You're getting the same thing with this guy here, and I believe this one is going to be a limited release, limited to 1,800 units. I'm not really sure how many they make it normally, but if you're interested in this, you need to track that thing down and get after it. Prime Studios did show off their statue today, and this is their statue of Transmetal to Megatron, and it's the Beast Wars one. It does look pretty good, and we're going to see Hasbro's got their own reveal also that we're going to see later on here in a bit, but it's pretty interesting that this character is getting a lot of love, and it's a really cool character. Also, at Comic-Con San Diego, 3-0 showed their deluxe last night Optimus Prime, which this thing does look pretty good. It looks spot on with the movie like they always do. Of course, it is a higher end, higher price, but very high quality. Circling back around to Flame Toys, they did show their Rodimus, Devastator, RC, and Soundwave. So these are the smaller ones. They're not the big deluxe ones that cost a whole lot. These are still a bit pricey for what they are, but they're not transformable, and they look very good. They're also showing off their Victory Saber, and this is some really nice looking stuff they have going on right here. And I believe everything kind of can pull apart and then clip onto this, and can be pulled back apart and clipped on separately and built separately. That's kind of how I think it goes with this. It's a parts forming kind of deal, but it looks really, really good. Okay, so moving into some Legends stuff that we see right here. This is going to be Mechanic Studios version. They call it Sunstorm. This is amazing. This looks very good. I do like what Mechanic Studio or Mech Fans Toys and what they do with the Sunstreaker. It looks fantastic. Now, the only other one we got in the Legends scale before this one is, was that Iron Factory, and they were very stylized. This is very G1, very tuned, will fit on my shelf. Perfect. So there's some new age variants of their Grimlock. This is the New Age Y44, YMIR clear variants, and G2 and Shattered Glass and all that kind of stuff. So this one, here's the Shattered Glass version of Grimlock. And here is the alt mode, which looks pretty cool. Looks pretty good overall. I know people are going to dig this. There's a lot of Shattered Glass stuff going on right now. And then this one here, I think they said this is the comic version, I believe is what they said. Looks pretty interesting. Now, I'm starting to wonder, do I like this one better than the EX that I already pre-ordered? I don't know yet. This thing looks great, but I mean, every one of them look fantastic. Here's the alt mode for that, and I do like all that clear plastic to translucent plastic on the neck and then down below. And I do like the colors of all this. And then here's the clear, transparent. Now, I don't know if I want 100% clear, but there are a lot of people that do. They like the transparent look, and there it is. Here we go with the transparent alt mode, and that looks really good too. Breathing that fire, all that great stuff. And then the G2. Now, the G2 one looks phenomenal. Just absolutely amazing. And so, I mean, this kind of rivals the G2 one that Fans Toys did. And Fans Toys G2 one looks amazing. So does this one. Here's the alt mode, and as having the G2 one and appreciating the actual original G2 one. And there's two different colors of blue, which I wonder if we'll get that teal. Will we get the teal? Well, it's New Age. We'll probably get the teal. All right, now it's time to get into some Comic-Con stuff, and my gosh, there's just so much. But with Transformers, there was more than I thought. Now, Transformers, there's some really good reveals, as you can see right here. So here's official pictures of the Armada Starscream, which that looks pretty much exactly like you'd expect for the Armada Starscream overall. Now, I didn't see the alt mode or anything on this one, but here is... Now, this is the one I've been looking forward to the most, Autobot Point Blank, and a little, in a way, disappointed with kind of the proportions. I would have liked him to be a little thinner and taller, and maybe, I don't know, I think he's a deluxe, and I think he should have probably been maybe a Voyager, but I don't know. So, with that, though, he's okay. For the first time that I think he's been made in a kind of a G1 look, because all the other ones don't look G1 since G1, so looking pretty good overall. I mean, he's not perfect, and I've heard some rumor that he'll probably get a repaint, and the repaint will look more G1, so I don't know, but the hips bother me. The hips really do bother me. So this one here is Crankcase, and Crankcase does look pretty good overall. Well, I guess. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with this guy here, but yeah, I guess it looks all right for what you get with the mainline, $23 figure. And then we get Dead End. Now, Dead End, of course, is one we've been looking forward to, and yes, definitely looking forward to this guy. And got to build that Minosaur and the mainline Minosaur, so it looked pretty good. But this is really the showstopper right here. Well, there's two showstoppers, this one and the next one. But this is really frustrating and exciting at the same time. That Alpha Trion is fantastic. I mean, I just can't get over how good that Alpha Trion looks. Overall, I mean, you can nitpick some little things here and there, but blow this up and make it a masterpiece. I'll put it on my masterpiece shelf. It looks that good. So I'm paying $66 if I can get my order in time. Let's put that. If I get my order in time, I'm paying $66 just for him. The Orion Pax is okay, and then the Vector Sigma is okay, and all that kind of stuff. But just for him, I'm seriously $66 and some change for just him is what you're having to pay for effectively a $33 figure. But overall, it should have been a mainline release in my opinion. But let's look a little bit closer here. We do have the Orion Pax figure, which is a remake or recolor and a remolded head. There's some differences to it. The chest is different and stuff from Cup. So there's a long line. He comes from a long line of Cup remakes as like the fourth one or something. It's crazy how they're doing that, but it works. So if it works, it works. Then we also have a better picture here of Alpha Trion, more close up, and just he looks fantastic. I mean, I'm sorry. There's anybody out there complaining about this? I mean, you're way too picky for even a $66 figure. So, I mean, I think really it actually is probably worth $66. I'm not upset about the price point either at it being a 2-pack. I'm really upset it'll sell out so fast. It'll just be hard to get. So, that's my biggest problem with it and the way they did this set, but it looks phenomenal. Here's the alt mode, and yeah, I don't care about alt mode. I don't even think it needs to transform, and I'll never even transform it. So, there's no need for it to transform. In my opinion, Alpha Trion never transformed, but the fact that it is a transformer and it already shares a mold and it can transform, then I guess it needs to, right? So with that, we do have the new Dragon, Enter the Dragon. Now, the thing about this one is that this is the Transmetal 2 Megatron. Now, we haven't really seen much with this character since the original. We did get one, and I forgot the company that made it. We have a third-party version that is fantastic. It's like JX, and I'm not going to try to pronounce it, but I call it JX. So anyway, they did a phenomenal one. I have it in my collection. I've reviewed it on this channel. It is fantastic. But how does this new version compare with the original vintage that people try to call G1? Now again, this is among my favorite. This is probably my favorite Beast Wars character and the whole design. So I do have this one on my shelf. There's a couple others that I really do like character-wise that I didn't like the original vintage toy, but I actually liked this original vintage toy. So that's the weird part about this, is that I love the new one so much better. As a person who could not wait to get his hands on this original toy, the original version, this is so much better. It's light years better. I think this is much, much better design. Looks more like the cartoon, looks more like the show, and I guarantee you it's going to be way bigger. It's going to just be way bigger than what we got the short and stumpy back in the day. So I do like what they did here. So I'm commending Hasbro. Good job on this one. Sadly, no alt mode. Now we did get this skull grin picture. So we've gotten this already in the little microscopic size, the little Target Master size, and this guy is now, I believe this is a Voyager. Not Voyager. No, Deluxe. Deluxe. So it's way bigger than just being a gun for a Target Master. It's actually a full-on character. And it's because he was a Pretender, so in the Pretenders. So it was, I don't know what they were doing back in the day with making Pretenders into Target Masters, but this is a really interesting idea here. I'm surprised they didn't go Voyager with it, but it is going to be a deluxe figure. We do have the packaging for this. So the reason the packaging is important, pertinent, and relevant is because of the fact you see the alt mode right there. So I don't know what this is going to get repurposed for, or was probably repurposed from at the end of the day. You know they're going to repurpose this one way, shape, form, or another. But still, overall, pretty cool, pretty interesting. It's one of those things that I never would have thought I'd like, but I kind of like it. So we got this Retrax. I'm not really sure who this character is in Beast Wars, but this is a retro one that's going to be coming out, probably Walmart exclusive, all that kind of stuff. But it's pretty interesting. And the weird thing is, I just don't ever remember seeing this in the store. Like, I did look at the Beast Wars stuff when it was out and passed on most of it. And I remember buying up stuff on clearance just for fun. I was like, hey, it's $3. I'll buy them for $3. But I never remember ever seeing this one. So I wonder if that's one of those things. Is this figure one that just didn't make it? Is it the end of the line? I don't know the story. Here's his bot mode, and that's what he looks like in his bot mode. So again, I know nothing about this guy whatsoever, but makes me want to, pick him up on clearance, of course. And of course, we've got Pterosaur here, the vintage reissue version of Pterosaur. He looks fantastic, so I really do like the way this guy looks. And is it the vintage one? But he costs more than the newer one, which the newer one looks 10 times better. I thought this toy was cool back in the day, but the new one just looks so much better, even though this one was one of the better Beast Wars, I thought, back in the day. All right, we've got some pictures here, some Stunticons, we've got a Blitzwing in the back, we've got a few other going on with the displays at SDCC, so pretty interesting, pretty exciting. I didn't realize Hasbro was going to have as big of a presence as they did. Here they are showcasing their 5-pack that's going to be, I believe, the Studio Series reissues and all that kind of stuff with slightly different modified upgrade paint apps is what I'm hearing on this set. So pretty interesting right there. For those that are really interested in this, they feel like they missed out in the past, they get another shot at all of these figures, but instead of getting them individually carded or boxed, whatever you want to call that, they're getting it in one 5-set box set. Here is the shattered glass display. I'm showing stuff that's already been released, some stuff that's about to get released, all that kind of stuff. But nice looking set overall. If you're really into this and you've kept up with this, then this is phenomenal, fantastic looking stuff right here. If you're into getting the different recolors, and frankly, it's a great reuse of the mold, so they can get more use out of that mold, and collectors get something different. So they showed off their Star Saber at SDCC, and this is the HasLab that's still in the works, and it does look pretty good, you know. And come to think of it, with the way inflation is and how prices are just going up and up and up and up and up on everything, 180 doesn't sound as bad right now as it did back during the funding, and that's kind of what we're going to probably end up feeling every time we have a HasLab or a Mattel Creations backing. This one right here, this one is actually pretty cool too. This is the alt mode, and I like the way it looks overall, looking pretty good. This is going to be a nice set. It's going to look very good, and people are really going to enjoy this. If you're going for the mainline or the mainline scale, going a little bit out of order, editing is going to be hard, so just keep it this way. This is the packaging for the Star Saber HasLab project right here, and I thought it was pretty interesting that they showed it, how it was all packaged and all that kind of stuff. So it's something that's interesting that people would be interested in seeing, and this thing should be showing up whenever it does. There's going to be lots of reviews and all that kind of stuff, but this is the packaging. I do want to point out, behind all those weapons, accessories, and stuff, that is where you will find the Star Saber and the Leo, so Victory Leo. So this is really an interesting way to do it. I was kind of curious how they would pack it in there and all that kind of stuff. So this is still packed for display. If you don't take it all the way out, you can still display it like this and kind of keep it brand new. So that's interesting too. And hey, look, there's plastic in there. So they also showed this breaker, and this is the DK3 breaker for Generation Selects, and it is a Diaclone recolor of what they've already made with their Trail Breaker, but still looks pretty cool, pretty interesting. If you're in on this, then I think it's already up for pre-orders at Pulse and all that kind of stuff right now. If you want to get in on this, then you might want to get in on it. I don't know how many colors they've already done of this. I think this is the third. Is this the third recolor? I mean, we did, of course, get the Hoist. Okay, so now there's going to be toys based off of a new show. It's an all-new animated series with 26 episodes called EarthSpark. It introduces a new generation of Transformers robots, the first Transformer robots to be born on Earth, and together with a human family who welcomes them in, cares for them, they'll refine what it means to be a family. Transformer EarthSpark is set to debut exclusively on Paramount Plus, so that means I won't get to see it. So I'm not subscribed to like a 15th streaming service, but anyhow, it's coming out in November and in select Nickelodeon channels internationally. So the thing about this is just going to all new media to kind of push Transformers in a different direction. And will it be good? Will it be bad? Will it be successful? Well, who knows? Alright, so here's the toys based on that. This is the deluxe class Twitch, Terran Twitch, and looks like a Windblade to me, and transformed into something like a Windblade. But we're just gonna look at the bots and move on. Here is the Bumblebee. Of course, you don't even change the name. It's Bumblebee is Bumblebee, of course. So there he is, and yeah, you've got to kind of have them, right? You have Megatron. So Megatron was born on Earth also. He's like a kid. Are these like kids? Are they children bots? Kid bots? And you need deluxe class Megatron. And then this is Warrior class. I don't really know exactly what Warrior class and deluxe class are about the same. Not why do you have to change stuff up like that? I don't know. This is Optimus Prime. I think it sort of looks like him. And then this one here, this is Elita 1. So she's Warrior class also. Warrior and Deluxe are very similar in scale, so that's interesting. And then here is a Skywarp. I guess, Megatron can't do it himself, so he's got to have Skywarp, I guess, with him. So quite interesting there. These are the Tacticons. I was thinking I was saying Tactician, but it's Tacticon assortment, and they're like little thumb or finger figures. So I don't know how well that's going to go over or how that works in person. Interesting, though, overall. It's a one-step flip changers. So we've seen these before. These are super simple everything. Super simple articulation, super simple design, all that. And then this thing here is a spin changer, which is supposed to be their premium figure. We've seen this in the past. I don't remember what movie. I seriously can't remember what movie they came with. I got a couple of them somewhere in storage, but you kind of flip the arms on those. So I wonder if that's the same thing that we do here. This actually looks even more simplified than the past flip changers. Maybe it'll be a much easier flip change overall. So what's showing up at retail? Well, we have this legacy version of Metroplex. That's showing up at retail right now, and people are starting to find that in the US. So pretty interesting right there. People everywhere are finding the Motormaster, and that's pretty cool too. I don't see it's not in the right spot, I guess, but still, it's interesting that this starting to show up. People get excited about it. Lots and lots of pictures of people getting this thing. And speaking of people getting stuff, both of those items there, we have an in-hand picture of the new Metroplex right next to the skeleton that is the new Minosaur. So, kind of cool, kind of interesting, kind of exciting. A lot of stuff that's going on right now. And that's also Shuki. Shuki, the Takara train bot. Alright, so all that's shown up in my area is clearance. There's not new stuff showing up for me so much, but clearance. Now, what we can see here is Tigertron on clearance. I actually got a Tigertron cheaper than that, but, you know, this was 17 bucks and 30 bucks on the Scorponok, which I knew that was way overpriced, and that would come down in clearance. Past that, we're going to get into a what do you get for $10?
What do we get for $10?
And what I got was this Lady J for $3. Well, she's on sale, clearance at GameStop, and pretty much if they have a G.I. Joe Classified, then it's on clearance right now for about $18, $16, $17, $18, depending on which character it is, for whatever reason. And oddly enough, some of the movie characters are commanding the highest price, but it's half off of clearance, which made her about $8, minus my $5 coupon, because I haven't found anything at GameStop all month, and so that made it $3. Yeah, SDC's going on, and we're all spending thousands of dollars this past week, but yet I'm finding this little Back to the Future TV for $12.87. There's other TVs on clearance. Those are cool, but I knew they'd get on clearance and go on sale. And then more Martys for $11 each. So Batman 66, for all of the remnants that are lingering at Target, their clearance down to $5.32, something along those lines. So I picked a few extras up to open. I knew I'd get a good package one, pay full price, and then get the clearance one to open down. That's how you usually operate. Same thing with this R2-D2. It's $5. It's actually $4.87 or something weird number like that, but I bought it mostly for that coin. And lastly, this is a nice Motu transition here, but we've got this. So the little He-Man stuff, the $10 figures, 70% off at Target. $3, $2.99, and then the Panther was $7.40 or something along those lines. So really awesome. The cool thing is, though, if you have a terrible toy person at your Target that doesn't really do a very good job, they're not updating these prices. You need to grab this stuff and scan it. Grab anything in the toy aisle at Target right now and scan it, because almost everything, about 90% of it, is 70% off. Okay, so at SDCC, there is this setup, and these are much better pictures than what I was able to get when I made my video. I've already made a video talking about all this stuff, but I do want to show the better pictures of some of these and talk about them. Shadow Weaver looks really cool. The elbows look kind of strange, but overall, it's got soft, good cape and that kind of stuff. Great accessories, and this one looks good. I just don't think it's going to rival that we already got from Super 7. Super 7's better, but it's 50 versus this thing being like 23. Now this one here, this is the God version of Evelyn, God Evelyn, something like that, something along those lines. But anyway, again, I've already shared my thoughts on it, but I do think this is a much better picture than what I had before, and this looks really good. Thank you again to Toy Arc, of course, and I will link them down below because they do a great job with all these pictures, high resolution pictures. And then this is, I think, Hero, or something along those lines. Now, somebody clarified who that was for me in my comments. Thank you. But again, I don't really know much about this guy, so I have the classics. I probably will pick him up just because I've been getting every one of the Masterverse figures, and he does look kind of cool. This is a better picture of Pighead, and again, not something that I really have a nostalgia for or anything, but they're adding a cool figure in that I really can't turn down. So as long as he's not a really expensive figure, I'm all over it for the $23 price point. Now the big showstopper for me is this Man-E Faces. Now from the blurry pictures, I knew he still looked good, but he looks almost as good as the Super 7 Filmation, which obviously, in my mind, what Super 7 did with Filmation, what Mattel started doing with Filmation, that is the end-all be-all best representation that you could possibly get in Masters Universe. So this gets pretty close to that. So with that, getting close to that for just a simple $23 price range, unless he's a deluxe and he ends up costing like $35 or something. But still, even at $35, I don't think it's that bad. But I think it looks good. I like the metallic blue, which is something that I don't think they even did on any of the classics versions. That's a nice metallic blue. So like that overall, looks very good. Yeah, and the video I already made a couple of days ago about this was a super fuzzy picture. Now this is Frosta, and she is one of the She-Ra people, so cool. Dial it out. Give me Catra, Frosta, She-Ra, all them. I'll just take all the different characters and make a shelf of it because it will be awesome. Those figures do look fantastic, and the buck looks great, so I'm in on it. It might even rival what Classics did, which is, again, what I get excited about. Like, I don't see why they wouldn't be able to rival what Classics did. Heck, this is selling to a bigger market. Got a picture of the Sorceress here, and looking really good with that split dress look going on right there. Really like that, and her staff, all that kind of stuff. And I'm really excited that we were able to get a Sorceress in Origins. I mean, that's she may even be warming pegs a little bit in some places, the Origins one. But it's fantastic that we got her. Like, a lot of people don't really understand how important it was that we got that character, and I understand the importance, and I'm very, very, very happy we get it in the Masterverse. Touching on this He-Man 4-pack, that's going to be like $80 for 4 figures, $20 a piece. And this is a He-Man. It's just like a classic He-Man. It's all the different eras. And then here we go with, of course, this hero guy again around. And then we get to see this one here. And so there's all these different versions. But the cool thing is with the packaging, you can actually slide the backer out and just take the figure out. It's not a blister card. It's a whole different setup. It looks like it's a cheat. This is from the new animated series, so all that kind of stuff. So the 4-pack, $80. I'm on the fence on it. I don't know. Just so much. You have to kind of pick where your resources are going to go. I've been reconsidering where all my resources are going to go, and they're going to go towards this guy. This is going to be awesome. I got more information on Eternia. This is going to be a crowdfund later this fall, is what they say, coming soon. And they say it's going to be expensive, but worth every penny. So what's expensive to Mattel? Well, when we found out what happened with that 2-pack being lied to us that it's $35 and then turns out to be $80, I have no idea. I just have no idea what they're going to charge for this thing. So I'm trying to pick and choose and save my pennies so I can figure out how to work this in and then redo the whole room. But this is fantastic. It is going to be crowdfund. It is going to be expensive. The good thing about that is, and here's the weird thing, just real fast, the good thing about a crowdfund on this is the fact that you are guaranteed to get it, as opposed to a lot of those Coldar that I don't have, the 2-pack that I missed, and all that kind of stuff. You're guaranteed to get this because as long as you pay up the money. Now, that's the one good point. The bad point is it's going to be very expensive. Roughly 2 to 3 times what the retail price would be. I estimated $150 on the retail price. It'll be anywhere between $300 and $400. I'm guessing. Who knows? Who knows? They say it's supposed to be a little bit bigger than the vintage one also, which I've done some comparisons. It doesn't look to be bigger than a vintage one. The vintage one's pretty darn big. I've seen one in person, but then again, I haven't seen one in person for many, many years. So over at the NECA booth, the Tmnt, this is just absolutely phenomenal. Just mind-blowingly awesome right here, what's going on with NECA. Just looking at this diorama and all that kind of stuff. But if you look at the kind of bottom corner of this picture, you should be able to see some of these sewer play sets. They're talking about making the sewer play sets. And so that's really fantastic. That's really awesome within itself. And then, of course, on top of the sewer playset and all that kind of stuff, you're supposed to be able to put these street playsets on top of those and stack them, clip them on, and then have one continuous large scene somewhere, however you want to do it. So that's impressive to me. I really like how they're doing that, so pretty exciting overall. But there's a few other things to look at. NECA's just insane. I can't cover all of it in this short time frame, but I have to make a whole video about it. But looking at this, this is the first playset. It's going to be the living room playset, and it's going to be broken up into the living room, kitchen, and then the laboratory playset. This should be out this fall for pre-orders. Pre-orders this fall, and they're trying to keep the cost down on it. No price yet. They're getting the price costed right now on getting this made. So pretty exciting news right there. I think probably some of the biggest NECA news. There's also these 4 turtles. They're from the source material, I think comic inspired, something along those lines. But they are much bigger, beefier, and stockier than what we've gotten with past turtles. And they do kind of look cool. Of course, they're all kind of matching headbands in there. So anyway, not really 100% sure every little detail about these guys, but when I saw them, they kind of caught my eye because they look so different. Here's something that I thought was really unexpected, but at the end of the day, kind of interesting. And this is the Dinosaurs. Was a dinosaur TV show that was pretty cool back in the day. I never really watched it so much, but I do remember it. And I don't know, I might pick one of these up because this seems pretty cool, pretty interesting. It's kind of like Alf. Grab an Alf, grab this. It's really cool. So Gijoe Super7 has their figures up for display. The first wave 1, wave 2 should be, they said 5 to 6 weeks behind this. So once these arrive, then within 2 months you should have wave 2. So they'll come pretty quick. Anyhow, this looks really good. These figures look phenomenal. I really do like what Super7 does. I know they get a lot of negative criticism, and I know we have to wait for a while, savor the moment, all that kind of stuff. But looking at this looks amazing. Gijoe, they had his tank on display at the Hasbro booth. So the Hasbro's got a lot of stuff going on, and it's kind of interesting because there's so many days of this that they have to hold back stuff, and each day show something different and something else. So this looks pretty good overall. I kind of like the way it looks. I'll be in on one. I don't know if I can swing two, but I might. This it's $300. It's worth $300 now with all the included figures and everything, and all the add-ons and all that. In the beginning, it wasn't, but it is now. So kind of a good deal, a slam dunk, home run. All right, they're showing the Mindbender, which looks really cool. And when we talk about the next thing, it's interesting too. But with this Mindbender, he is crazy because there's like a code floating around. Somebody messaged me that like a link to buy it. It wasn't a code; it was a link to buy it. And so, but I couldn't find it if you search for it. So I don't really understand how all that works. Where did this link come from? I don't know, but I was able to get one. So there it is. Now he does look good. And it's going to be kind of like one of those weird things that I believe there's going to be a mainline release of this down the road with less accessories. That's my belief on this. But I really hope this is not the one and done and the only way to get this guy. But I believe it's going to be up again multiple times on the Hasbro Pulse. So the greatest reveal out of all of these is Serpentor, by far. Serpentor looks great. He looks amazing. He has his air chariot, and the weird thing is the box is about the same time as size as Mindbender's box, and you're going to cram that air chariot in there and all that kind of stuff. So that's pretty interesting. Here's a close up on his head sculpt, and his head, it just looks fantastic. That's exactly what you think of when you think of Serpentor, and they did a great job. They did a fantastic job on this. I don't know the price. I don't know the availability. It'll be later during the PulseCon coming up in like late September, early October is what I'm hearing on this, but this is the initial reveal, and it's pretty exciting. Right now, if you want to get the Sergeant Slaughter is up for pre-order at BBTS or Entertainment Earth, all that kind of stuff. Of course, sold out on Pulse already, but pretty exciting, and I'm not sure exactly how we're going to get this, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be a Pulse exclusive. So getting into some Star Wars news, we'll kind of go quick through it. I think I've got everything we need, but looking at this is the Boba Fett starship. It's no longer called a Slave One, even though that's the name of the ship. But it's I guess they changed the name in the sequel trilogy and the Boba Fett series. So there we go. There's the story. But it's pretty much a repaint of the original one that they put out a long time ago. It's an Amazon exclusive, and then just moving on to the Vintage Collection. So it's a cool ship. I think it's commanding $200 now. The only place I saw to pre-order so far, Dorkside Toys wants $200 for it, so pretty pricey, but it's okay. There's Black Series credit collection Bo-Katan, and so they're credit collectioning all of this stuff. You know, I'm not into all this credit collection, and the more I see of Black Series reveals, I'm going to tell you my feelings at the end. But it does look cool though. It looks good. I've got the regular Bo-Katan. So I'm not sure what I would need this for, but I do like the card backs, but it's so inconsistent. You just don't know what to expect. So anyhow, next one we get is a credit collection Dark Trooper, which we haven't got the regular standard Dark Trooper yet. Now there's a credit collection Dark Trooper, and I thought the Dark Trooper itself was a deluxe figure. So now a deluxe figure's crammed on a card. Is it going to be a deluxe price? I don't know. Don't have that information just yet. So not really too worried about it. I'm not going to be picking that one up. But it does look good. I mean, I like the Dark Trooper overall, and it's pretty cool. Now we're getting into this packaging here. So with this packaging, they started out this live stream saying that there's going to be standard packaging that we're used to for all of this figures for Black Series and Vintage Collection and Retro Collection. And then they're showing a lot of these packaging that is closed box. So I don't know. It's like the first thing they said was it's going to be standard packaging, and then the pictures we see are closed box on some and open book. You know, the way it should be, the standard on others. I don't know. It's kind of surprises me how they do that. The cool thing here, though, this is the Jedi Luke. I really do like the Jedi Luke. He looks fantastic. Did we need a new one? Not really. But is it better than the last one? Yeah, it is the best Jedi Luke that I've seen so far. But it has a closed box, and the closed box, I mean, it opens a lot of problems along the way. And my son got a jacked up one with a box we can actually see the product. So who knows what we're going to get in this. Here we go with the baby Grogu. And so now for $25, you're going to be buying a Grogu and a pram and a couple accessories. So a $10 Grogu and $20 worth of accessories? $15? I don't know. I don't know. I think this is strange, but people want a pram. Although I think every other pram that was made is big enough to accommodate that Black Series figure. Just saying. And they're making a Migs Mayfield, so he's on a clear box, and you can see he's got a ton of guns. That's really cool. I do kind of like that. He's got a place to put them all too. So 4 guns, 4 holsters. So we're getting another Luke Skywalker Imperial Light Cruiser. This is the one from Mandalorian when he comes in and everyone's happy that they see him. So pretty cool. He's got his Palace Blaster with him, which I don't know if I saw him use that. And he's got some lightsaber options there. And there's Cal Kestis. Looks pretty cool. Yeah, just saving all my thoughts for the end. But Cal Kestis. He looks alright. Then we got this guy, which I really forgot his name. So I don't remember his name. I'm not concerned about it. But this guy here, carrying a Palace Blaster. So kind of taking on what Kenner used to do and just pack the same blaster with a whole bunch of figures in a wave. That would work out. Alright, so as they reveal all these Black Series reveals, every single time I sit through it, it etches a little bit way at me. I just kind of wish I would have never started collecting Black Series now. I mean, we're never going to get the 96. We're never going to be able to dial out a shelf and complete the 100. And we're already at 1,000 Black Series figures. So we're going to be at 3,000 Black Series, still not have the 96 done. I don't know. It's frustrating to me that the line, like if you're an original trilogy collector, Black Series is definitely not for you. That's what they're telling me. That's what they're telling me. And lastly, the Retro Collection. You can get the last 6 of the first 12 in Retro Collection for $90 on HasLab Pulse or Shop Disney or Disney Shop or whatever. That's crazy that it's an additional, $30 to have vac metallized C-3PO and R2-D2. Of course, these are all new molds. They had to do new tooling and all that kind of stuff, but $30 more than what you're paying to get the original 6, and they're reissuing the original 6 also, so you can get all 12, and so they are going to come on individual blister cards inside of a box. This is what the box looks like, but I'm okay with this. I mean, I'm a retro collector, I'm a vintage collector, I like this kind of stuff. I eat this kind of stuff up. I will be getting it $90, but at $90 I can't get 2. At 60 I could have swung 2. I'm not spending $200 on 2 sets of this. I gotta tell you that. So, what do you think about this week's weekly news and review? It's super long, super busy, super cram-packed, cram-jam-packed, and I didn't even include everything. I'm gonna roll more to next week because the SDCC took it over, and wow, what a week. And my mind is still cluttered with stuff that I didn't even think of talking about. Let me know what you think in the comments below. What did you like the most out of this past week? Whether I talked about it or not, let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe. So, dear, hang out.